Welcome to the Stickers on the Mic podcast, brought to you by StickerGiant.com, where we talk with our customers about how they started their business, how they're marketing their brand, and how they're growing their company. Without further ado, it's time for the Stickers on the Mic podcast from Sticker Giant. Let's get on with the show. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Stickers on the Mic. This is Andrew. Very excited today to be dialing in Anna Costello, the founder of Ship Sunshine and Dropship Like It's Hot. Anna, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks so much for having me. And yeah, I really chose two business names that you have to enunciate very clearly in order for them to come across correctly, correct?
That is absolutely right. Those are like, I talk fast, especially for my regular listeners. They know that I get excited. I have to very much slow down to say drop ship like it's hot. All those P's. But let's start actually with Ship Sunshine, which is sort of your flagship, no pun intended, and the first business that you sort of started. And it's sort of a, well, your tagline is spread cheer and share joy. But what exactly is Ship Sunshine trying to do?
Yeah, so, my goal really is just to make it easy to brighten somebody's day through thoughtful gifts. So we've got a collection of gift boxes on our website, and you can build your own. And, for me, one of the reasons I started this business is I wanted to be able to insert my own values into it. And so we've got a Sunshine It Forward program that we try to spread a little sunshine to people and organizations that need a little bit of extra help. We use all eco-friendly packaging material as part of our gifts and include handwritten notes. And so, yeah, it's really just a service to let somebody know that you're thinking of them and send them a box full of sunshine.
That's fabulous. What sort of, when you started Ship Sunshine, where were you at with, all of our entrepreneurial stories have this sort of origin or this moment where they're like, I am doing this, and they sort of leave the past behind. When was that moment for you when you're like, the old way is no longer for me. I want to devote my whole energy to this project?
Yeah, I was just telling somebody, I think I had a stereotypical millennial eat, pray, love moment where I quit my corporate job and I went to a yoga retreat in Bali and was just trying to figure out, kind of what I wanted to do with this life and how I want to contribute. And I remember actually I did this hike up Mount Batur, and it was brutal. It was really intense. We got up at like 1 a.m. and hiked for a couple of hours, and it was cold and dark. And I remember sitting there trying to get warm with a couple of people, and we saw the sun come up, and you could literally feel the warmth of the sun and this feeling of sunshine, and just everybody's mood lifted. And I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, we have to figure out how to bottle this, this feeling. And I guess box, would be more appropriate now. But I remember thinking, at that point, I had like a couple of side projects and things that I was working on. And I remember thinking like, what, this is what I want to do. I totally want to give people this warmth and a feeling of like sunshine in a box, not bottle.
That's awesome, actually, because it was like a physical thing, and you're trying to recapture that feeling for your customers. So how did you concept this out and then sort of come up with the different offerings? Because you have a few different, in your drop down, there's care packages or baby or Colorado. You're a Colorado-based business, and the brand Colorado is a very strong brand as far as American states go. Just simple colors on the flag and mountains, it's easy to sort of wrap your head around that, especially for like weddings and stuff like that. But how did you segment out all these offerings, and then what was the process to be creative to make those boxes different than each other?
Yeah, I've always loved doing care packages for people. I was talking to one of my friends who also started a business. He's called the Single Track Sampler. He's awesome. And we were kind of laughing about the origin of Ship Sunshine. And he was like, you've been doing this since high school. We used to have a tradition where on your birthday, your friends would get together like this laundry basket, and they'd fill it with all these goodies and things that people think that you would like. And I used to love coordinating those for people. And, I went to a pretty big high school, so it was kind of constant. And my friends totally killed it for my birthday. They actually totally illegally stole a shopping cart instead of a laundry basket. And so I was driving around campus with one of those filled with all these treats. I just loved like kind of curating things that you think would make somebody smile. And in the beginning, it was like insane. I was basically just shopping, and I went totally nuts and overboard and bought all these random things because I just wasn't sure what I wanted, or I thought, oh, that was cute. And then I tried to think of specific themes, for gifts, but I also wanted to focus on the moments or the occasions where you don't know what to do for somebody. And I'll be the first to say, like, I've been so guilty a lot of times where I'm like, I don't really know what to do for somebody. I want to let them know I'm thinking of them, but I'm not sure what to do, so I don't do anything. And so I thought, like, let's try to solve that problem in addition to having gifts for specific occasions.
Right. Yeah. Babies and weddings are one thing, but when someone's sick or it's their birthday or whatever, you got this pets thing. It's like, especially in Colorado, dogs are, a third human in a way, and
right.
Cats too, I suppose. But, that kind of is a fun thing because they have moments too, I guess, our pets. And speaking of pets, I got linked with you from Deborah from Fluff Trough. She and I did a podcast, folks. If you haven't checked out the Fluff Trough story, it's a really fascinating entrepreneurial journey. She said that she was working with you on this other project, and she was talking about this Dropship like it's hot. And I have moments for sure where I will do an interview and I'm in the middle of it and I'm like, whoa, where are we right now? And I'm all of a sudden I'm talking about another company, which is rare, but she had referenced she was working with you to really, because that was a big part of scaling for her, was figuring out how to fulfill a lot of these orders. So this is a hard segue into the other project that you have, but so you have Ship Sunshine, you figure out how to do boxes, you figure out how to create this experience. You've got this beautiful, you're telling us all how you're like trying to fill people with warmth and love and light from this journey you took. But then where does like Dropship Like It's Hot come out as a brand and as a whole company and business model outside of your other stuff? Where did you end up making that lane change a little bit?
So first of all, love Deborah. She is so wonderful and so inspiring. I feel like I just gather so much energy and insight from her. She's so methodical and yet so creative. And right. I have nothing but wonderful things to say about her. And her business is just taking off right now. I mean, she's really solved this problem for these dogs, and her bowls are delightful. And so it's totally fun to kind of watch this journey and see it all unfold. For the dropship side, so what was funny is, with Ship Sunshine, we have to make things look pretty and arrive from point A to point B safe and sound. And so I would get a lot of questions from people like, hey, what's the best way to package this? Or, hey, you get discounted shipping. And my friends and family were like, will you print me this shipping label? I was like, of course. And then with Ship Sunshine, I think I'm pretty tied into a lot of local makers. Right now, over 60% of my products are local and women owned. And so I started to get questions from like some of my partners, like what I would suggest, for shipping and this stuff. And so then I had a couple of friends that were like, okay, that's cool. Why don't you just take this on and do this for me? And I thought, well, we could do that. We have all of the, packaging supplies and the wherewithal to kind of pack things. And then in true just me being random and maybe slightly impulsive fashion, I thought of the name Dropship Like It's Hot. Shout out to Snoop Dogg. And I thought, why wouldn't I start a new business with this business name? I was very entertained by it. So it kind of evolved from that. Yeah.
So how do folks connect with you? I mean, there's just a form, but people must be looking, like you said, to solve an inventory problem or a fulfillment problem or whatever the logistic sort of pain point that they have. Do you go out to like source new business from that for this particular project?
No, on the dropship side, it's all been referral based. So I'm super grateful for that. I think that the business has grown really organically through that. I threw up a website, which probably need to look at and refresh. At this point, I haven't looked at it in a while, but most of it really has just been word of mouth. And I think that's one of the really cool things especially about the Denver and Colorado entrepreneurial community, is it's just so connected. And I think that it's been really great to kind of be a part of that and inspired by and learning from all of these other businesses, but also connecting with them and hopefully helping them grow their business as well as them helping me grow mine.
Right. Because, I mean, you just have a warehouse full of boxes, not only your Ship Sunshine boxes, but then, like, for instance, in the case of Fluff Trough and Deborah's project, like, that's a whole business unit within another business, kind of, right?
There's a lot of stuff here, for sure. A lot of different kinds of stuff.
That's cool. Because, like, they're just so simpatico, which I think is fantastic. And, so you and Deborah, you were saying before we started rolling tape was that you all have what did you call it? A baby company?
I called it a business baby.
Business baby. Sorry, that's better. Not a company baby. A business baby. So what is your business
It's a company baby.
It is the company baby. But what is the business baby that you all have launched together?
Yeah. So Deborah has Fluff Trough dog bowls, and I have Ship Sunshine gift boxes. And so we decided to launch Pugly Gifts, which is a company that is all focused on gifts for our four-legged friends.
Right.
So it's so funny, and I would say this in front of Deborah's face, and apparently whoever listens to this, but Deborah is the perfect combination of just delightful and weird, and she has been the genius mastermind behind this rainbow pooping pug.
Unbelievable.
And it's literally what it sounds like, right?
It is.
And she's been 3D printing those from her home. And we've created a couple of like themed gift boxes around rainbow pooping pugs and pugacorns. Yeah. And we have this new product, which is so great. It's literally called a pugger fly. So you open a box and all of these little pug butterflies fly out at you.
There it is. I didn't know what that was at first. I'm captivated, friends. It's an Etsy store. It's Pugly Gifts on Etsy, but there's this pooping dog figurine, which is absurd. But yes, there's a box with these exploding surprise dog butterflies. This is weird. This is out there.
It is.
Like in the best way.
But it is so much fun. I know. And she's just so brilliant, with finding this niche market, because we have some more generic dog gifts, and we're certainly expanding that. We thought we'd start kind of with what we know and love. Yeah. But it's just so funny that she's found her people, her dog Pork Chop, who is just the sweetest. He's a cute little pug. And she's found this community of pug lovers, and they just, revel over these dogs. And it makes me so happy. Like when I go on my Instagram feed and I see all these pug faces and dog faces, it's so much fun. It's too fun.
It is too fun. And I met Pork Chop. I rarely get a chance to go to a customer's house and like interview them. But she was in Longmont, and I was like, it was a nice day, kind of like today, like fall day. And I was like, I gotta get out of here. And I went over there, and I was just really captivated. And it was fun to meet, a dog who is the customer, actually, which is rare. No. Yeah. But so that's a third thing. Like you're becoming quite a polymath of entrepreneurship. What have you, across these different platforms, what have you learned? Like you said, you left the corporate world behind. Now you're starting a business, which requires sort of that muscle memory. But what kind of things did you wish you'd known now when you were starting out in this?
I mean, at this point, gosh, there's so many things, so many directions I could take this. I think in the beginning, I was so anxious and worried I was going to do things wrong that I just didn't do anything. I didn't move forward. And now I think I've overcorrected, and I'm like, why wouldn't I start this business? And Deborah, why wouldn't we start a business together? But I do think that there is something, especially with entrepreneurs, at least for me, it's been so easy to kind of get into my own head and like analysis paralysis, because you're, wearing a CEO hat, you're wearing a marketing hat, you're wearing a finance hat, all of these different things. And so I think that the biggest thing for me in the beginning was really just to start. For me, if I made a mistake, I would make a calculated one, but then I'd learn from it. Or if I didn't do anything, then it's just so much opportunity cost that I've wasted time and energy kind of spinning these things around. So I would say for anybody starting out is just to like go for it, right? And in a reasonable fashion, but definitely just get started. At this point, I think it's becoming more and more clear to me, I just need to find the right people and surround myself with them. And I've been so fortunate with the people that I've worked with so far. But you can't do everything. And even the things you could do, it doesn't mean that you should do them. Maybe you can't do them well, or they're super draining to you or whatever. So it's been kind of a scary, almost investment into buying some of my time back by hiring people to help with the things that I don't know how to do or I don't do well.
Right. And then from packing boxes to social media, it's a wide range, of course, of needs. We're a shipping-based business ourselves, right? But we have to market, we have to do product development, website, all that stuff. So Ship Sunshine's kind of maybe hit its stride a little bit. I've purchased from your website, so it can work, right? Like, it scratches that itch when you're like, this person's having a tough time. We want to just like put it out there that we're thinking of them. Where do these two, they're so different. So like, where is Ship Sunshine headed, do you think?
Yeah, it's interesting to kind of track the evolution of it. In the beginning, of course, it was just all my family and friends purchasing gift boxes, and then the word slowly spread from there. But at this point, we've really been focused on a lot of like corporate gifting. People who are trying to purchase gifts for their team as employee appreciation, or their clients as client appreciation, of course. And then we're doing more prospecting, which I find really interesting. It's kind of like a delightful gift box with a personal touch. And then, of course, a gift message or an ask or thank you for a referral or whatever it might be. So I think that shift, for me, Ship Sunshine, I'm always going to want to focus on, people, individuals, and so forth. But I've really been looking at introducing some new options or inventory that kind of fits the world of people looking to buy gifts for, their teams and clients and so forth.
Right, because this is like, you have a whole bucket for corporate, which is like the custom box is great, because then you could be like, we want to give them our own koozie because it's our company, and we want to give them, we're a very brand centric company because of what we do. But this, like I'm looking on the page, like it's just very much, maybe they had a baby, right? Maybe they bought a house. Maybe they've been working at home for 7 months and everyone really needs a pick me up, and it costs them $30 a box. And, it goes a long way to make employees happy, in this day and age. So that's a nice pivot too, because other than just pure SEO, how do you get in front of people? You got to get the box to them, right? Mm-hmm. So whatever you
can. I probably need to refresh this metric. Since, things have been a little bit crazy the last several months, but at a period of time, I really consistently noticed that if somebody sent a gift box, if we sent it out to them, about 30% of the time, that person would say like, oh, I just received this gift box in the mail and I thought you would like it too, like place an order as well. And so a huge part for me is, of course, sending gift boxes out to people. Hopefully they enjoy the experience and it makes them think of somebody that they want to send sunshine it forward to.
Interesting. The pure referral business. What kind of, you said metrics, that just raised a flag for me. Like, what do you, like, how do you measure success in what you all are doing? Cause like, there's the busy metric, like, oh, we shipped 1,000 boxes, whatever day, week, whatever your goal is. How do you, what does it look like to track your business? Cause there's so much just outbound, right?
I think that's a great question, a fair point, and something that I am probably like so in the weeds right now that I have to like get some perspective on it. I'd love to take step back in a 10,000 foot view of the business. I'll say, like little things that we've celebrated when we hit new, volume benchmarks and stuff. And we actually did an order for Nickelodeon, and Kid Me was freaking out. So all of us like celebrated here because we were just so excited, about like brands that we've heard of, but in terms of metrics, and I can, I have to be careful who I have listened to this because I'm just going to get yelled at by so many people.
You don't have to give away the farm. We're just data nerds Yeah, we're data nerds at Sticker Giant, and so we run open book finance and traction, and I just got off my weekly meeting with the team, so I'm in a numbers space. We report every week, and sometimes it's just like purely like in the podcast, how many people are listening. It's kind of like a busy metric, and very little you can do to move that number. But what kind of I guess the more discrete question is like, you wake up every day going, we have to hit this number or whatever for us to keep going, right? Mm-hmm. So is it just boxes, or you know what I mean? Or what does that look like?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think the things that I have tracked and should track better would certainly be the number of boxes, the average order size. Oh, nice. I think with a lot of upsells that we've added, like we just recently added options, I think you saw them, to customize like the outside of the gift box. So like, you are my sunshine, and you can put a name, or happy birthday and have a name, or happy holidays, and so forth. So little things like that, we've tried to leverage cross-selling on our site as much as we can to say like, oh, would you also like to add this personal touch? Yeah. The other thing is that we've been looking at a lot is stuff that we're custom printing. So a little bit of an overlap between Ship Sunshine and Dropship Like It's Hot is we've invested in a lot of printing equipment so we can make t-shirts and mugs and some stuff like that. Oh, wow. And so that part has been interesting because we've been getting more requests and orders specifically just for custom printing versus, for something that's getting put into our gift box. So that's definitely a metric that I'm kind of keeping my eye on to see what percentage of the business that evolves into.
Yeah, because we're a custom printer ourselves. So and we had a time where Sticker Giant started as a retail business where we sold, you want the Spider-Man sticker, you could buy it for $2. That was 2002 or something, long time ago. So that's interesting to hear because I'm on the custom, there's so many, you pick is it food or is it home or is it happy or whatever. And then you are able to even personalize it further with all these add-ons, which is probably pretty nice for you. So now you're becoming a printer though. Did you imagine that it wanted to be this box thing and now you're doing all this custom, because that's a heavy investment in equipment, right?
It is. And it's really a heavy investment in learning. I've learned everything the hard way. I mean, with sublimation, for example, which is just a printing technique, you have to get the right time, temperature, pressure on each, thing that you're printing on. There are a lot of things I don't do. So I'm looking at your Sticker Giant hat and wondering if you guys do hats for people, because I might need to reach out to you.
That's Johnny Battle, a former Johnny Battle is a Front Range company, and they were on the podcast a few years back. They were really interested in our traction program, and they're like, "We want to start traction. Can we meet you?" I was like, "Of course, let's talk." And then they kept ordering stickers, and so. Gotcha. This is my Johnny Battle hat.
Love it. Well, I'm sure I'll find somebody for that, or I'll have you connect me with him. But I do think that there's certain things that we do and certain things that we just partner with other people for. I mean, you guys do such a great job on stickers and stuff. I would never get into that world. That part is something that we would much rather partner with you guys on. But for mugs and for some of the things that go in our gift boxes, especially, it's just so nice to have control, to be able to do those in-house, or even just to try one if we want to do a prototype instead of having to order a minimum of 100 or 500 of them.
Yeah, and then they just sit there or they break in shipment, which sucks. So yeah, we've covered a little bit of ground. That's cool that you're heading the custom sounds like a nice avenue for Ship Sunshine. Back to Dropship Like It's Hot. What's the question on where that goes, other than adding more brands and just trying to help out more people? What does Ship Sunshine look like in a couple of years?
So for Dropship,
I'm sorry. What does Dropship look like in a couple
No, that's okay. I think I'm still defining that. What I'm finding is I started out as a boutique fulfillment service. We're very high touch. We specialize in kind of creating delightful unboxing experiences. Like Ship Sunshine, all of our packaging is eco-friendly. What I'm finding more and more is kind of this pull towards people who are like, that's cool. I like that, but we just want you to throw this in a poly mailer bag and get it out the door, Oh, wow, yeah. And so I'm trying to figure out, where those two meet, because, of course we want to be able to work with, high volume clients and accommodate, any of those needs. But I also want to kind of stay true to the fact that I love working with startups. We have partners with a couple of bigger fulfillment centers in the area that send small clients our way,
right.
Because they, it's just too low volume or too high touch for them. And then we joke all the time, like our goal is to help grow them and then send them back.
Well, that's kind of a cool little feedback too, though.
Referral loop. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because everyone has to start out, like with Fluff Trough, like they're shipping a few units, and now before you know it, she's like, I got 4 different models, and I could never store all that stuff in my house,
right.
To keep up with the demand. So that's very cool, and it seems like, goodness gracious, you've got 2 really like home run brands that are kind of still like so much opportunity though for where you're trying to go with them, which is very nice. And we do appreciate that you're using the stickers. How do you use the stickers and labels in your process? Where do they fit in?
Yeah. So for Ship Sunshine, a lot of our gift boxes we seal. We'll either do a branded Ship Sunshine sticker, or if it's a corporate order, for example, we'll do like a specific logo, or even we have some that just have like hearts on them, or different sayings like love you, thank you, something like that. For Pugly gifts, which is just, again, been so much fun. We have
the Pugly cord.
I know.
It's so ludicrous. Sorry, folks, you can't even. I see a lot. I used to see a lot of stickers when I go to the factory, and this unicorn with the dog, and I was like, I get stopped in my tracks. I'm like, what is this? And then I have to follow the story. So that's why literally we're talking today. So anyway, you're saying Pugly Gifts is this?
No, I love it. So we, again, part of our whole thing is just to make people smile. And so when you open this, our gift boxes for certain orders, there's one that either says like your pug-tastic, like a play on fantastic, or we have one that says your pup-tastic again. And so that's kind of on like the back of the box. And then we have like paw print tissue paper, and then we make, everything snug in as a bug with like crinkle cut and stuff like that. But we're finding more and more creative ways just to kind of add little sprinkles of delight. And I think adding stickers either, to the packaging, or to as like, upsells or thank you gifts inside the gift boxes has just been great.
Right. Nice. That's awesome. So we've talked a little bit about your lessons learned and where you want to head. Is there anything else for our listeners, between these 2 pretty rad brands, Ship Sunshine and Dropship Like It's Hot? What could we know about them that you'd want us to take away?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest part right now is just that we're certainly, trying to build a business and continue to grow in really challenging times, but we're also trying to do a little bit more and go above and beyond in ways that we can serve our communities. So for Ship Sunshine, I've filed to become a benefit corp. That's definitely pending still. I actually just repicked up that process last week. And so that's something that, kind of a third-party certification of a values-based or benefit-based corporation. For Dropship Like It's Hot, again, I'm still more so defining what I want that company to look like, since it just been so.
It seems like in COVID, though, Dropship is like, fast. With COVID, like the shipping e-commerce thing seems like no ceiling, right? With all these people who are trying to come up with stuff.
It's been wild, and on the flip side, it almost creates a problem of supply chain. We have like 3 different suppliers. We get certain, boxes or eco-friendly packaging tape or whatever, because, there's been such a run on this stuff. So it's kind of an interesting, problem in that sense. But you're right, like definitely a rise of purchasing things online because, people want to social distance and stay at home as much as they can.
So COVID did kind of interrupt potentially whatever, everyone started 2020 like, okay, here's what I'm going to do. And then, April kicks and it's like, okay, what are we going to do? How did you have to adjust or pivot through that? Like, again, I feel like you're moderately insulated in the sense that, you're helping that problem for people who need to get their stuff to people, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the two biggest challenges really have been figuring out ways to make sure that the team is safe and spread out, and that we're able to continue operating. One of the cool things about the space that we're in is it's not meant to be like a traditional warehouse. There's a warehouse portion in the back, but we have a pretty big office space. And so we have like 11 different rooms. And so we are actually able to physically social distance, which I feel very fortunate about. Otherwise, I think, and we're all wearing masks, of course, for this podcast. The idea that we're spread out, is really great. The second biggest challenge really just has been supply chain. Like I said, a lot of our local soap makers, for example, in the beginning were like, we don't have any soap supplies. Like that's not happening. There was like a run on tape. I'm like, of all of the things that you would think, would be an infinite supply of, and we use biodegradable tape. But it's one of those things where I'm like, how can I not get tape, So really just trying to pivot as much as you can. Yeah.
So with those 11 people, especially on the dropship side, are they kind of like account managers or you know what I mean? Like, do they know like, oh, I've got to get these people's things out, or do they watch one specific set of orders come through, like with Fluff Trough again? Like, oh, we got to get these. Do you know what I mean? Like, how does that function for your team? Yeah. So sorry, we have 11 like kind of rooms, like little spaces. Sure. So not necessarily somebody in each of those, but I basically have like some people that are specific to accounts, and then some that are, including myself, which are like floaters. We just fill in, depending on literally are the generalist.
Where the need is.
Yeah.
Totally.
You handle everything. That's the blessing and the curse of a founder to start.
It's a good way to put it.
It really, from what I've learned, I'm not a founder, but I know that maybe I will be someday. Folks, everyone listening, hopefully I start my own business. I can interview myself. No, I love hearing stories like yours, Anna, and I really appreciate how you're you're solving two different problems with two different brands, or I guess you have a third one. You're solving an unneeded problem. People needed more pug life gear. Pug life. That's your next one. But I'm sure you already thought of that. So anyway, thank you for sharing all this stuff. The websites are shipsunshine.com, and then it's Dropship Like It's Hot. It seems like that's where you are pretty much everywhere all over social. Mm-hmm. I presume you want people to check in and hang out and all that stuff.
Love it. And if there's anything I can help with too, I mean, feel free to reach out to me on any of those channels. I'd love to hear other people's stories and see if I can help in any way too. Nice, Anna. Thank you so much. Really, we're rooting for you, right? We're rooting for all of our customers. That's what we do. But it's always nice to hear like how you're coming together with all this stuff, because it is, in these uncertain times, right? We're all just trying to elevate one another. So best of luck with that. And if you're out there and you have somebody that special someone, maybe they're not even that special, maybe you want them to be special, you will go ahead and you will go to Ship Sunshine. You're going to go on the drop down the gift boxes. You're going to maybe send a thank you. Maybe you're just going to send some sunshine. Maybe it's a housewarming gift. Who cares? Head to Ship Sunshine and make a box for them. And we say on the show, Anna, every sticker has a story, but it sounds like this one is sealing a box and bringing somebody some joy. I love it. I think it's so wonderful that you guys do this and are so supportive of your partners and clients too. I think this is just kind of unheard of and a really cool opportunity. So I so appreciate you letting me share my story here. Nice. Well, right on. Thank you, everybody, for checking in, and please check out Ship Sunshine. In the holiday times, you're looking for that special something for that someone. You never know. You might be able to customize something pretty cool. So thanks, everyone, for checking in once again. I'm Andrew, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. We always say every sticker has a story. What's yours? That wraps up this episode of Stickers on the Mic, brought to you by StickerGiant.com. You can download us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, or your favorite podcatcher. Thanks again for listening to Stickers on the Mic. We'll see you next time.